Hi everybody. Well, I got something real interesting to share with you. Now, the one thing that I really want people to understand about the Wild Orchid Project is you're not really going to be able to peg us in any one particular slot. Sustainable forestry is our main objective, but we're using digital media, and it gives us a way bigger range of topics, and we're covering every base that we can. Even just recently we posted a story about Henry David Thoreau, and he was one of the great intellects of the 19th century, and perhaps, and the reason that I posted that story about him is he may have been the first person to really look carefully at sustainability. Also, there were some other things about him that are of critical importance to know. Amongst them is that he was from the New England area. And that's a little bit about what I want to talk today, is we have connected the Wild Orchid Project with an incredible power source in the city of Boston. Dr. Deb, if you hear this, thank you so much for joining our team. And here's what Dr. Deb has helped us to reveal and package, is that the co-founder of the Wild Orchid Project is Bob Ritchie, who lives in Santa Catarina. Now, he's an expat American, but originally he's from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I mentioned in a real early video about the Wild Orchid Project that Bob is such an interesting man that he has lived 10 lifetimes compared to a normal person's life. And being born near Martha's Vineyard in Cape Cod, Magaransett Pier, and he has always been around boats. I love boats. I'm born in the sign of Pisces, so Bob and I really both share water as a main passion. And I grew up in Western Canada, and he grew up on the Eastern Seaboard, so it's quite a diverse background. We're 10 years apart, and those 10 years, the poppy era happened, so there's a big diversity. We think a lot differently, but we have a lot of similarities, and we share the same passion. And we are like yin and yang in terms of working together. We're absolute perfect combination. And I'm so pleased to have found this guy, or he found me, I don't know. But Bob, man, you are incredible. But here's what's going to happen, and this is what's so interesting, is while I was out in the West as a young guy pioneering what later became extreme skiing, which spawned a whole thing of extreme everything. But when I was young, I was a ski racer, and we used to walk above the lift lines and out of the bounds and over the top of Blackcomb and Whistler. And also, we were the ones to pioneer heli skiing and what is now today extreme skiing. But Bob, always around boats naturally, he did something really unusual as a young man, and he mastered the ordinary bicycle. And it's anything but ordinary, because it has a front wheel 52 inches in diameter and a back wheel of 12 inch. I'm sure you've seen pictures of these. They're like antique bicycles. There's a huge long story behind the history of the ordinary bicycle, which is a name akin to Greenland and Iceland being named to attract people to something that was opposite to what it was named. At any rate, Bob has ridden his big wheel bike for 3 presidents and many foreign dignitaries. He's ridden with championship events for basketball and football. He's ridden in huge parades. He has worked closely with some of the top sports celebrities, including Cal Ripken, Harlem Globetrotters. Bob has really an amazing background in one of his previous lives. Well, guess what? We are going to be working with Martha's Vineyard Radio and Dr. Deb, and we are going to attack the Boston area with the story of Wild Orchid and how it connects to the intellectual capital center of the world, in my opinion, which is MIT and that whole corridor around Cambridge. which if you really want to know the truth about the birth of the internet, that's where it emanated from. And Silicon Valley is where a lot of startups and breakouts go. But that Cambridge, Massachusetts area is the major intellectual capital of the world, in my opinion. And we are going to focus on our message in that area. This week you're going to see the story come out heavily, and we're going to work with bloggers, and we've got an incredible team assembled. We really know what we're doing. We're on the home stretch. We have 10 days left to finish our Indiegogo campaign to raise $5,500. And that $5,500, many of the things we were going to use that money for are already falling into place even without the money. But we want that cash so we can give it to the locals and get some real cool iPads and some good video cameras to give away as we get our boots on the ground, which we already are in Aguas Mornas, Santa Catarina, where Bob lives. But this coming week, watch us connect the dots to Gisele Bündchen and QB Brady. Cape Cod Crier, call him Brady.